Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Crown and today we are going to have some more stories that I hope that you will enjoy. But before we start, it would be so much appreciated if you would subscribe to the channel, like the video if you enjoyed it, and maybe leave a comment down below. These simple clicks would mean a lot to the future of this channel and really reward the effort that I put in every day. And now, without further ado, let's go! First story. Entitled Old Man Asks Me to Help with a Box, then calls security when I refuse. This happened a while back. A little background. I'm a big guy, 6'6", 280 pounds, 9% body fat. I wear boots and leather, long hair, goatee, tattoos all over my body. Even when I'm sitting on my bike, I am taller than most people I know. I often get mistaken for some motorbike gang thug, although I am not. I'm a veterinarian. I know I look like I can tighten truck tires by hand, but I handle newborn kittens every day. I'm married to the sweetest little thing and I adore her. And she adores me. She has a daughter, 7 years old, which I gladly adopted. And Big Guy Jr. is on his way due October. Now that you have a visual, let's get to the story. Me, my wife and daughter went to an unnamed big store that sells disassembled DIY furniture. You'll figure it out. My wife, not yet pregnant back then, goes in with our daughter to find something or to ask something. I don't remember. I stay outside because it's windy and I like that. While she's in there, I see an old man pushing a cart with a box on it towards the parking lot. He looks around and waves at me. I wave back. I figure, hey, I'm a unique creature in my neighborhood. This guy must know me. So I smile and wave. He then waves at me to go to him. Immediately I thought, this dude needs help with a box. And I was right. Help a friendly neighbor any day. I go there and as I'm walking I realize I haven't seen this man in my life. And it becomes apparent the second he begins the conversation. Young man, I was waving at you trying to get your attention all the way here. What are you so occupied by? Counting cracks in the pavement? I swear, this country is going to be doomed because they let people like you work. Baffled, I try to say something but he interrupts me. Yeah, whatever. Keep your excuses for your supervisor in an hour. Now get this box in my truck. And I say no. Apparently this is something he had never experienced, and he makes a famous Pikachu face. He tries to get in my face, at least I think he believes that's what he's doing. I can almost hear his neck crack as he tries to look up at me. And why not? Trying to gather evidence, I guess. Because 1, I don't work here. 2, I don't know what's in that box. And 3, I don't know you. I still can't believe that he mistook me for a parking lot boy. I just bought that. I didn't steal it. And even if I did, you people are used to it. And I realize that I look like 2 Danny Trejos on top of each other without the face cars. He continues, I'm calling security to report you. To which I agree. Security comes and the old man is spitting words trying to get his story across first. He still insists that I work there and that I refuse to help an elderly citizen and I must be fired immediately. I explain that I'm just another customer just like him. And it isn't my job to load boxes for every rundown schmuck in a parking lot. And at this point the old man realizes that as well, but is standing his ground. What's the big deal? You must respect your elders, he said. I explained that I'm certainly not helping an unknown man load an unknown box into an unknown car just like that. I could have helped him, yes, if he only asked nicely. But since he didn't, I won't. He continues saying that when an elder says jump, I should only say how high. That refusing to help an elder must be punished. What has this country come to, this generation, yada yada, you know the tirade. And at this point I am tired of his entitlement. I see my wife and daughter exit the store and look at us. And a light bulb in my mind goes, ding. I turned my back so the old man can see and put my finger on my mouth, shush, to my wife. She instantly knew something's gonna happen, and I quickly moved towards him, grabbed my daughter, and shoved my finger in her ribs, tickling her. But quite hard. She starts laughing, but it sounds more like screaming. I turn to the old man and shout to overcome the laughing and screaming. "Excuse me, sir. Can you please hold this screaming child under these cameras while I get my windowless van?" And he was stunned. He backs up so fast I swear his hair closed in front of his face, deformed by horror and fear. Security guy frantically taps himself looking for the radio. I drop my daughter to the ground and she stops screaming, looks at me and says, "Oh daddy, I will get you for this," while still laughing and clutching my hands. My wife cannot hold it in and bursts out laughing hard. Spit and boogers start popping out. The old man looked so shocked that bees could make honey in his mouth by the time he was able to close it. And I see just 3 words. "Now you know." Without a word, he walked away. Security gathers himself and says his 3 words. That was epic. And honestly, we're still laughing about it. Next story. The time I destroyed a Karen for stealing my art. This happened last week. Hello, my name is Carrie. It's a nickname and I'm a male by the way. First, let's start with an introduction. I'm a Southern corn-fed Texan 17 years old teen that is a teddy bear but can be a drill sergeant when mad. I was also just transferred to Tokyo at this point of time to escape my past bullies. Now on to the story. My what was before girlfriend and I were at Starbucks enjoying coffee. Art and Genshin Impact. She was playing Genshin Impact as I was drawing Kuching from the game. We were having fun until this entitled person came up to us and said, "Hey, nice drawing. Can I have it?" Now I would have, but I was not accepting commissions at the time. Now me being a southern raised Texan teen, I nicely said in Japanese, "I am sorry young boy, but I cannot give it to you, maybe next time." He says okay, thank you sir, then walks away. Now I thought it was done. But how I was so wrong. He came back but with his Karen of a mother. She tells me in English, "You said no to my son about giving a drawing?" I was stunned that she could speak English, but I went ahead and said, "Yes ma'am. I'm sorry but I do not do commissions at this moment, but can give you my phone number so you could contact me when I'm ready." Of course, as all the entitled people, she denied it, and she said, "No, you will give me the drawing now." "You will not yell at me now. Me and my girlfriend will be on our way. Good day, ma'am." And so we went for the door. And the next thing we know, she takes a streaming hot coffee and is intended to splash me. But my instincts kicked in and I managed to dodge it. Unfortunately, that's not all because it all went to my girlfriend. I start screaming at the top of my lungs while throwing my hat on a nearby couch. As my girlfriend is screaming in pain, I signaled over to an employee to take care of her as I dealt with this Karen. I then went to Karen and screamed at her, "What the hell were you thinking, you crazy witch?" And without saying a word, she sucked me in the eye, took my drawing notebook, and tried to dart out of the door. Now cops here in Japan are on another level of interception. She literally darted out, and all we heard was a scream as she was pinned to the ground. The cop had her pinned and called in an ambulance as he saw through the door my girlfriend on the floor in pain with the employee. As I was walking out to whoop Karen myself while now having a black eye, someone helped me back and another one got my notebook. It was still in great shape, and I pinned the drawings, and yes, we did press charges. Apparently she had 4 felonies before and this counts as 2 more, so making it 6 for her overall. And yeah, we now are both writing this together, and thankfully we're both okay. Next story. Thank you guys so much. My first comment on my first Reddit post ever was that you guys wanted to hear the cherry story. And I just wanted to say that means so much to me cause it means you will like what I'm writing and want to hear more. This happened back when I was in high school, but the memory of this one makes my entire family laugh to this day. So I remember this one quite well. For backstory, my family has gone camping ever since I can remember. I even celebrated my 10th birthday camping with my family friends. So every summer when my younger sister and I were out of school for the summer, my parents would take us camping on Vancouver Island a lot. I cannot remember the entire nature of our trip, but we were passing through Vancouver and decided to check out the aquarium. For those who don't know, the aquarium is located in a park on an island with only 2 bridges on and off, and 1 road that loops the entire island. Just look it up if this isn't making sense. So as you can imagine, parking and traffic can get pretty hectic, and this day was like no other. The story. After taking some pictures in the park, we decided to drive up to the aquarium parking lot and get in line with all the other vehicles. Kinda stop and go as the parking is all one way and diagonal into each side, and you have to let people in and out of spots. I can't really remember how the whole lot was arranged though, cause it's never been me who drove there. And there were huge trees everywhere. We see a car pull out of a space, and my dad tries to squeeze in but doesn't quite fit right, so he decides to try another. He backs up a bit just to see behind the car besides us, and this lady lays into her horn. Mind you, it's pretty hot out, so most people have their windows down, so a lot of people turn and look. This lady sticks her head out of the window and screams, "Watch where you're going! I have kids in my car!" Okay, sorry, just backing up a little bit to see traffic. I saw you coming. Dad tells her. Whatever. And I kid you not. She dramatically flips her ponytail, flips us off and drives off. Whatever. We go to an emptier area of the parking lot and pull into a spot in the shade. My dad has always been pretty frugal. Plus, he had really backed out on this trip. So he decided he was gonna nap in the car while my mom took my sister and I into the aquarium. As we get out of our car, we look to our left, and it's Karen helping one of her 2 kids out of a car seat. The kids aren't really included cause I didn't really get a good look at them. I did not say anything. Karen notices and turns to my dad. "You know you could have hurt my kids." Oh boy. Dad already ticked off by seeing her. I'm sorry, but like I said before, I was just inching out to see people so I don't hit them. My dad is a no crap kinda guy. He'll be nice up until you give him a reason not to be. And this lady just loaded the gun for him. They have a couple more exchanges and end it before my mom, sister and I leave the car and say bye to my dad. My sister loudly mocking Karen as we leave. We have kids too. We see Karen with her kids in the aquarium, but we don't make any exchanges. It's pretty dark in there, so she probably didn't even see us or maybe didn't care. Mom, sis and I are just enjoying ourselves. We do have a ferry to catch later that afternoon, so we head back to the car. Dad has got his legs propped up but isn't totally knocked out when we got back. As we're getting to leave, he tells us he's got a funny story for us. Now, if you're someone who knows my dad, you know he doesn't smile much. He's a stern kinda guy, so when he tells us he's got a story with a grin on his face, you know it's gonna be good. Turns out that Karen didn't really sit well with him, and decided he wanted to do something about it. After Karen left with her kids, he waited until no one was looking and hobbled out of the car. His gout was so bad he had to use crutches. He then brought a bunch of cherries we bought along the way, mashed them up, and started jamming into Karen's car's air intake with a stick. He did take out the bits. He's not that much of a jerk. But basically what's gonna happen is over time, the cherries are going to rot and stink up the entire car. Especially when you turn on your AC. It'll wash out eventually, but since British Columbia is pretty humid, Those cherries aren't going to dry anytime soon, and keep stinking until they are completely gone. He says it'll take a week maybe with the rain the coast gets. But we had a wickedly good forecast ahead of us, so I can't say I trust his estimate. So after he tells us all of this, the rest of us are basically laughing and in shock, cause we never thought he'd ever do something that petty. He might say something but never act on it. Regardless, we shared a great family moment and continued on our journey. The best part of this petty revenge / entitled Karen story is that they will never know what's going on and why their car smells like rotten cherries. Moral of the story: do not piss off my dad. Looking back, I am not sure if it was okay to mess with someone's car like that, but there were no actual damages, only cherries in places she couldn't see. To this day I still wonder about that Karen and if she suspected us or anything. Who knows? I still think it's a really good story to give an example of how my dad can be. And now we have reached the end of today's stories. Thank you for watching and see you next time.